Picture this. A routine traffic stop over a seatbelt violation spirals into a showdown involving multiple police jurisdictions, guns drawn, and a defendant who claims an officer planted evidence right back into his pocket. Robert Sigsby isn't just fighting charges. He's fighting for missing body cam footage he believes will prove his innocence. But there's a problem. The prosecutor's office can't seem to deliver the evidence, and the judge is running out of patience. What really happened that day? And why is critical footage still missing? Buckle up, because this case is about to get wild.
It's critical, because of the angle that the police officer, I watched him pull the sack out of my pocket, my personal Native American herb, and then he shoved it back in and took me to jail with it. I watched this. My friend watched it. He got video of it. I'd like to see the other 10 cops that came there with their guns out.
But the issue...
Wait, did you catch that? Sigsby just accused a police officer of pulling evidence out of his pocket, then deliberately shoving it back before arresting him. If true, that's not just misconduct. That could be evidence tampering, planting, or outright fabrication of charges. He's claiming his friend recorded it, and he wants the body cam footage from the other 10 officers who allegedly showed up with guns drawn. But here's the kicker. He's about to find out that getting that footage isn't going to be as simple as he thought. The question is, why were so many officers there for a seatbelt violation in the first place? And if this footage exists, where is it? The courtroom is about to turn into a battle over discovery, and Sigsby isn't backing down.
All right, Mr. Sigsby, you're up. 25T01947FY, people of the state of Michigan versus Robert Wayne Sigsby. And Attorney Bagrakis, you'd like to place your appearance on the record?
Bagrakis on behalf of the people.
And Mr. Sigsby, can you state your name, please?
My name's Robert Sigsby.
Okay. All right. We are here today on this matter. We're back on an adjourned PCC. We've had a couple of PCCs at this point. The reason for the adjournment today was to ensure we are going to check on the exchanging of discovery. We are here on August 14th, and Mr. Sigsby has stated that he still needed some discovery. He wanted body cameras of all police officers present at the time of his arrest. And I did order any available body cameras to be turned over to Mr. Sigsby. So
here's where things get messy. The judge already ordered the prosecutor's office to hand over all available body cam footage from every officer present at Sigsby's arrest. That order was made weeks ago, back on August 14th. But guess what? We're now in late August, and Sigsby still doesn't have it. The prosecutor claims they've already sent some footage to Sigsby's former attorney, but now that attorney is out of the picture, and the handoff never happened. The judge is clearly frustrated because this is the second probable cause conference being adjourned over the same issue. Discovery delays like this can derail cases, and Sigsby is fighting the clock. If the prosecution doesn't have the footage, why not? And if they do, why hasn't it been turned over yet? The judge is about to make sure this doesn't happen again, but will the prosecutor actually comply this time?
We have a probable cause conference on September 11th as well, because I wanted to give Mr. Sigsby an opportunity to, file any valid motions that he may want to file prior to exam after receiving all of his discovery. But we set today to make sure that there weren't any issues in regards to discovery. So, having said that, Attorney Bagrakis, what information do you have for me?
Well, I know my recollection was that initially all the body cam videos were sent to Mr. Hilliker, and I believe he provided them. He indicated that he had provided them to Mr. Sigsby via a thumb drive. My recollection was also, I see we have some cruiser cams, which I had directed my paralegal to to send to Mr. Sigsby because, of course, as the court remembers, Mr. Hilliker was removed from representation. So now we have to deal with directly to Mr. Sigsby. And there are, to my knowledge, I don't see nor have any other body cams that are available. I don't. So we've given or will be able to provide him what we already have.
Hold on. Did the prosecutor just say they don't have any other body cam footage? Let's break this down. The prosecutor admits that some footage was sent to Sigsby's old attorney via thumb drive, but now that the attorney is off the case, it's unclear whether Sigsby actually got it. They also mention cruiser cams, dash cams from police vehicles, but claim there are no other body cams available. But here's the problem. Sigsby insists there were officers from 3 different jurisdictions at the scene, including a sergeant, plus multiple Burton police officers and Flint Township officers. If all these officers were there, where are their body cams? The prosecutor is essentially saying, this is all we have, but Sigsby isn't buying it. And honestly, the judge isn't either. If critical footage is missing, that raises serious questions about whether the prosecution is hiding something or if the officers just didn't record what happened. Either way, this is a huge problem for the case.
Well, part of the issue, Attorney Bagrakis, was that why I set today's hearing was last time we were here, I believe Attorney Young was here for the prosecutor's office, and there was some, I don't know what I would call it, back and forth maybe about how discovery was going to be exchanged and where Mr. Sigsby could pick that up. And so I wanted to make sure that any outstanding discovery was handed to him today in court so that he, or not he, but so that we wouldn't have any questions about where discovery is, whether or not it was exchanged. So
okay. Now that I am looking at Mr. Young's notes to that effect, and obviously not being in court, we can't provide it to him via hand delivery. So
well, and this is the problem we run into when I don't have an assigned prosecutor. Because that information probably wasn't relayed to you for today.
Well, with all due respect, we've tried to provide as best coverage as we can given the circumstances, but
so what's your plan to get that to Mr. Sigsby? I guess that's
what do you want? I mean, are you asking us or ordering us to give it to him directly?
That was my order last time in court. I ordered it last time in court. Yes.
Okay, but obviously, if it was today's date to give it to him in court, we all knew that we weren't going to be in court today, even if I had it in my hands. Right?
Well, so no, actually, no, though. Wait, because last time Attorney Young was here in person, we were all in person. And so we had this kind of long conversation about how a discovery was going to be exchanged. And I said, you know what? I'm going to order any outstanding discovery be provided to Mr. Sigsby, and I'm going to order that it be handed to him in court on August 28th, 2025 at 11 o'clock a.m. That was my order. And I did that in the hopes that it would ease the process a bit, but it hasn't. So hold on just a second, Attorney McGrath, because Mr. Sigsby, what did you want?
The judge is not happy. She explicitly ordered the prosecutor's office to hand over the discovery in court on August 28th at 11 a.m., and they didn't do it. Now the prosecutor is trying to justify why they couldn't comply, claiming they weren't in court that day. But the judge isn't having it. She reminds them that the last hearing was in person and Attorney Young was physically there when the order was made. So what happened? The prosecutor's office claims they've been providing best coverage given the circumstances, but that's a weak excuse when a defendant's constitutional right to discovery is on the line. The Sixth Amendment guarantees defendants the right to see the evidence against them, and every delay works in the prosecution's favor. If Sigsby doesn't get this footage, he can't properly prepare his defense. The judge is clearly fed up with the back and forth, and she's about to make sure this doesn't happen a third time. But will the prosecutor actually follow through this time? Let's see.
Sigsby, what did you want to say?
I understand what the court said, but then you were requiring us to come out to court to hand over some this discovery. That All right. Well,
that was my order. I mean, that's what I'm saying. That was my order.
That's fine, Judge.
Hold on just a second. Hold on. I need to let Mr. Sigsby speak. So hold on just a second. Mr. Sigsby, go ahead.
It's critical, because of the angle that the police officer, I watched him pull the sack out of my pocket, my personal Native American herb, and then he shoved it back in and took me to jail with it. I watched this. My friend watched it. He got video of it. I'd like to see the other 10 cops that came there with their guns out.
Sigsby is not letting this go. He just repeated his claim, this time with even more urgency. He says he personally watched an officer pull the evidence out of his pocket, then deliberately shove it back in before arresting him. And he's not the only witness. His friend allegedly recorded the entire thing. Now, if that's true, this isn't just a he said, she said situation. There's potentially video evidence of an officer planting or manipulating evidence. But here's where it gets even more suspicious. Sigsby says another 10 officers showed up at the scene with their guns drawn for a seatbelt violation. Let that sink in. A seatbelt ticket, a civil infraction that doesn't even warrant an arrest, somehow escalated into a multi-jurisdiction police response with firearms drawn. Why? That's what Sigsby wants to know, and that's why he's demanding the body cam footage from all those officers. Because if just one of them captured the moment that officer put it back in his pocket, that could be the smoking gun that proves his innocence. But the prosecution claims they don't have those other body cams. Convenient, right?
No,
But the issue is just getting that.
I can meet you. I want to confer with the prosecutor. I got a right to do that. So I was wanting to meet.
I'm not. There's nothing really to confer about, sir. I would recommend against. I would recommend against that, and I will, Judge. I will do what I can if the court will indulge us another adjournment. I will make sure that I at least look into the other, making sure that we have whatever copies of either cruiser cam or body cam we have available, that we will get it copied. And if the court tells me to show up at a certain place and time, I will be there, or I will have a representative there to hand deliver it to Mr. Sigsby.
So, Mr. Sigsby, if the remaining videos were put on a flash drive, you can use that?
I can use that.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to order today. And I made an order last time and it wasn't followed, but Attorney Bagrakis, I know that you, hold on, I know that you will ensure that my order is followed. And I know sometimes it's hard for the younger attorneys, the newer attorneys to relay that information for whatever reason, but it was an order that I made. I thought I was very clear about it. But I know that if I tell you, I know that it will get done. So I'm glad that you're here today. So what I'm going to order today is that the prosecutor's office is to put any outstanding discovery on a flash drive and have that available for Mr. Sigsby to pick up at. Where would he go if he were to come to the prosecutor's office to pick that up? Where would he go?
Well, he could come to our office and make contact down here at district court and make contact with my people, and they will let me know that he is here, and we'll make sure that it gets delivered to him, unless you want him to appear in court sometime and we're down there. And
what I'm going to say is I'm gonna pick a day and a time that he can be there, and that way someone from the prosecutor's office can just walk out with flash drive and hand it to him, and that's that. I don't want to have to set another PCC. We already have the September 11th date. So what I'm going to say is that let's see. Mr. Sigsby, if we said Wednesday the 3rd at some time, will you be able to be at district court to pick that up?
I do believe at this time I can.
Judge, can you, again, I apologize. With the holiday and everything, can we do it the following week or later in that in the week? I mean, it's.
We can do later that week. So we'll do Friday the 5th. Okay, so Friday the 5th, are you available on that day, Mr.
I
Sigsby?
will.
All right. So Friday, September 5th, 2025 at, Mr. Sigsby, you give me a time.
No, I like 11.
11? At 11 o'clock a.m., Mr. Sigsby will be at the district court, at the prosecutor's office to pick up the flash drive, which will have any outstanding discovery on it. It sounded like maybe there are a couple of dash cams. We already had this conversation as well. I know, Mr. Sigsby, you say that there are, I'm not saying I disbelieve you, I'm just saying what you say is that there should be multiple body cams. Prosecutor's office has what they have. If you believe they have insufficient evidence, then that's something that you bring up at trial. But we're going to go ahead with the preliminary exam with what they say they have. And you can address that you think that there's some things missing or not, but we're not going to be able to not move forward because of that issue. Okay. So go ahead. What did you want to say?
It's kind of crunchy amount of time to watch the videos. I mean, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
So there was like 3 jurisdictions there, plus the sergeant was there. So he was close. You would think the sergeant of the sheriff's department would have his body camera on. And then there was at least 2 Burton cars. I do believe there was around 4 Burton police there. And I mean, if they're running out here, it looked like I robbed a bank is what it looked like. And there's so many people with their police, with their guns. And I couldn't understand this over a traffic stop, a civil infraction. That seatbelt is not an arrestable offense. He had no reason to ask me my ID. So Colder versus Lawson says I don't have to produce an ID.
All right, we're not getting into those
Okay,
things, but I do want you to relay that information of the people that you thought were there, so that Attorney McGregor.
Yes, and the Flint Township was there also.
Okay. All right.
So
good.
one of these people should have the angle of the police taking it out and putting it back in my pocket. That's suspicious of a crime in my mind for any cop to lay you out like that.
All
It's
right.
that big.
Let's recap what just went down in this courtroom. Robert Sigsby is facing criminal charges after what should have been a routine traffic stop. A seatbelt violation escalated into a multi-jurisdiction police response with officers from 3 different departments, guns drawn, and arrest for alleged drug possession. But Sigsby isn't going quietly. He claims an officer pulled evidence out of his pocket, then deliberately shoved it back in before taking him to jail. And he says there's video proof. The problem? The body cam footage he's demanding is either missing, incomplete, or being withheld. The judge has now issued a 3rd court order, this time setting a firm deadline of Friday, September 5th at 11 a.m. for the prosecutor's office to hand over all remaining discovery on a flash drive. The preliminary exam has been pushed back to September 18th to give Sigsby time to review the evidence. But here's the big question. Will the missing footage ever surface? And if it does, will it prove Sigsby's claim of evidence tampering? Or will it support the prosecution's case? One thing's for sure, this case is far from over, and the courtroom battle is just getting started.
It's that big of a bag. How could you not find it in a pat down?
Okay, and so last thing is the probable cause conference that we set to actually move the case forward was for September 11th, 2025, 11 o'clock a.m. We can leave it on that date, or we can put it a week after that on the 18th if you think you'll need more time, Mr. Sigsby. It does not.
Time is precious. I'd like to have more time. It would be nice for me.
Okay. Attorney McGregor, are you opposed to putting the next PCC on September 18th?
I am not opposed to that.
All right, good. Okay, so then we will.
Judge, may I inquire just one thing? Did Mr. Hilliker, did Mr. Sigsby receive from Mr. Hilliker the discovery that we already sent to him?
Yes. right?
Yes.
Yes.
And there was a flaw in it. And I remember
Well, I
the
don't know. I'm not getting into a discussion about what there is or isn't. What I want to know is, did you receive it from Mr. Hilliker so
Yes,
we don't
I
have
did.
to duplicate efforts?
Right. We don't need to duplicate the arresting officer's body cam because
Okay.
it's worthless the way he leaned on me that
Okay,
day.
okay,
Well-
we don't need that right now, but you do have, I remember we talked about that, you do have that discovery.
Yes, I do. For all
Okay.
parties.
Okay, so one more time. This is what my notes state. This is what we're doing. We're going to put any outstanding discovery on a flash drive, and that will be available for pickup by Mr. Sigsby at District Court on September 5th, Friday, September 5th, 2025 at 11:00 a.m. That is an order of the court that needs to be done. Probable cause conference will be moved to, and I will find good cause for that because of these discovery issues. Probable cause conference will be moved to September 18th, 2025, 11:00 a.m.
All right. Thank
So
you.
what do we just witness? This case is a masterclass in courtroom frustration, constitutional rights, and the battle for evidence that could make or break a criminal case. Robert Sigsby stands accused of drug possession following a traffic stop that spiraled into a full-scale police response. But he's not just fighting the charges. He's fighting for the right to see the evidence against him. He claims an officer planted evidence back into his pocket, and he wants the body cam footage to prove it. The judge has now issued her third court order demanding the prosecutor's office hand over all remaining discovery by September 5th at 11 a.m. The preliminary exam has been pushed to September 18th to give Sigsby time to prepare his defense. But the big question remains, will the missing body cam footage ever surface? And if it does, will it vindicate Sigsby or seal his fate? The stakes are high. The courtroom drama is intense. And this case is far from over. If you found this as shocking as we did, make sure to hit that like button. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think the footage will prove Sigsby's innocence, or is there more to this story? Don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping courtroom breakdowns, because cases like this don't come around every day. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.